We're going to be talking about some major meme coin setups because I think right now it is the appropriate time. I do think that major upside is coming very soon because Bitcoin yesterday had a major bounce that basically took its price action back into a bearish pattern I've been talking about for the last couple of days. And the bears have fell way short of its price targets. We're going to be getting into that in the charts later. We're going to be talking about peanuts. We're going to be talking about BOME, which is Book of Meme, BOME, as well as Cheems, the meme coin, the dog meme coin. See what's happening in these meme coins right now because I am going to be putting my money into more smaller cap altcoins because I think right now is more of the opportunity to take that risk, right? I think there is a time to take bigger risk, which I think is right now because of what Bitcoin did yesterday. And I do think there is a time to take less risk. But I think right now is the time I'm going to be taking more risk. That's just my opinion, not financial advice. And let's go ahead and take a look into some major economics news that could affect the markets, as well as crypto news before diving into the charts here. All right, first piece of news here is by Crypto Potato. Bitcoin price analysis. This key resistance stands in Bitcoin's path towards new all-time highs. And I think it's talking about the 124k resistance, of course. That is basically what I'm seeing here. And of course, yeah, that would be that's what I'm seeing as the resistance because that was the previous all-time high where Bitcoin had a sharp rejection, right? Since last week. Basically went down to almost 111k since touching that all-time high, and now that is going to be the key resistance for Bitcoin to break. And why is Bitcoin important? I talk about this over and over again because it is the driver of this market. If Bitcoin dumps, so will your altcoins. So you want to be rooting for Bitcoin, even though it is, it's not I mean, it's not the most fun to trade. um it moves very slow, but it is still the driver of this market. I am long on Bitcoin. I am long on quite a bit of the altcoins here, so my opinion on this market is bullish right now. I will tell you guys when I change my opinion because as a trader in this market, I think on both sides of the market. All right, let's go ahead and take a look into the next piece here. Is also by Crypto Potato. September rate cut odds surge after Powell. They're referring to yesterday's Jerome Powell speech at Jackson Hole. What's next for Bitcoin and Ethereum? I think this basically confirms that Bitcoin is going to be going up from here, right? Because, first of all, like I said, Bitcoin broke back into the bearish pattern that I've been talking about on the daily time frame, and when you break back into a bearish pattern, that invalidates that bearish pattern and that breakdown target. Ethereum basically hit all-time highs yesterday. I don't think it's going to be long until Ethereum actually breaks out and follow Bitcoin. And once Ethereum breaks out of its all-time highs, I will expect total 3, which is basically altcoin market excluding Ethereum to follow suit, and that is when these smaller cap altcoins are really going to heat up. All right, next piece here is also by Crypto Potato, and you guys can find all this news in TradingView. By the way, I have an affiliate link in the description section below. They have plans for under $20 per month. Very useful tool. If you guys don't have TradingView and you guys are trading without it, highly don't recommend it. If you guys use my affiliate link, I will earn a commission if you guys sign up using my link. So that supports my channel. Let's go ahead and go to this piece here. New all-time highs for BNB and Ethereum. As BTC jumps after Powell's speech. Weekend watch. I do expect quite a bit of altcoin price action in this weekend here because of that major Bitcoin move, and of course the Ethereum move. Let's take a look into the CME watch tool where I do see something interesting here. Where I pointed out after yesterday's speech, the probability of an ease was about 90%. If you guys watched my video yesterday, but it has significantly decreased now. So back down to 75%. Still heavily favored for a rate cut in September, which is still very good for the markets. But I'm just wondering, it's just a lot of volatility for this probability here. For the CME watch tool. If you guys don't use this, I highly recommend that you guys do because it's very accurate. It's been very accurate. All right, let's go back to the news here. Next piece is gonna be it's gonna be by Cointelegraph. IRS crypto boss Trish Turner resigns just 3 months into the role. So this lady was appointed to be the head of digital assets at IRS, and she basically resigned and headed to the private sector. Uh, Not really sure if that's good news or bad news. I don't really have too much background information on her. If you guys do, please do leave it in the comment section below. But just coming down here to some of the later text in this news here, where it says, meanwhile on April 11th, U.S. President Donald Trump signed a joint congressional resolution overturning a Biden administration era rule that would have required decentralized DeFi protocols to report transactions to the IRS. So it seems like if you're trading on DeFi protocols, your transactions now may not have to be reported to the IRS. From those protocols. So that is some key points in this news here. Let's go ahead and go to You Today. Okay, next piece here is by You Today. Bitcoin at crucial point as RSI signals overbought conditions. This is old news. I've been talking about the RSI. It's been overbought. There has been bearish divergence. However, I have also pointed out that in major breakouts, like in the past, like back in December 2020, October 2017, on the monthly time frame, monthly bearish divergence signals have been invalidated. Okay, at least the bulls will keep pushing for a couple of months before a dump actually happens. Could this actually be one of those times? I would not rule it out. Of course, I'm gonna place my bet based on probabilities. It's not 100%, but I've been talking about overbought signals, and I've been talking about the possibility of them getting invalidated. All right, let's go ahead and come to the charts here. This is Bitcoin. Talked about a rising wedge that broke down, right? And the breakdown target was 104K. That would have been really deep for Bitcoin and the altcoins, of course. However, since yesterday's daily candle close, that did break back into that bearish rising wedge. In that case, it invalidates that pattern and that breakdown target. In my opinion, this is huge because now we're not looking at a steep drop here, right? I've also talked about this falling wedge pattern, which is basically it broke out of it yesterday. Price target for this falling wedge is going to be about 121K. Okay, let's see if it gets there. We have quite a bit of moving averages that's acting as resistance right now, including the daily 21, daily 50 at about 117K, right? If it gets through this level, the next key resistance would, of course, be that 124K area. Let's go ahead and take a look into Ethereum real quick. Just want to show you guys this chart is crazy. This is why I don't think This is also another reason why I don't think Bitcoin is going down that deep anymore. It's because Ethereum is basically testing its all-time highs. It looks like it wants to break out. there of course is going to be there's quite a bit of overbought signals on the higher time frames, right? 3-day time frame, I see bearish divergence, some things to be paying attention to, but I think Ethereum is going to be breaking out soon, and that's going to really heat things up for the altcoin markets. Let's go ahead and go to the meme coins now. We're going to be taking a look into Book of Meme BOME, see what's happening in this market since the last time I've talked about it. All right, weekly time frame. Book of Meme. Falling wedge pattern. Okay, falling wedge pattern. Definitely the most common pattern you guys will see if you guys actually pay attention and chart these on your own, especially on the higher time frames, especially after a time we have gone through since March of last year. If you guys have been through all of this this past year or so and are still alive, props to yourself, because I know it was a very hard time to trade. Had to adjust my strategies quite a bit, but I would still say that I'm coming out on top here. And if this is the start of the, if this is really just right before this bull cycle heats up, I think it's gonna be crazy. Okay, so Book of Meme here, falling wedge pattern on the weekly time frame. Let's just say if it breaks out by this point here, for example, price target for Book of Meme would be about 1.6 cents, which is still a pretty big move. Now, falling wedges has a higher chance of breaking to the upside. Okay, it tells you after an extensive downtrend on that time frame, that the bears are actually losing strength, right? As the channel is tightening, and it's usually it has a higher chance of breaking to the upside. Of course, they have a smaller chance of breaking to the downside as well. I've seen that happen, so just just gotta gauge my bets based on these probabilities. And of course, even if after it breaks out to the upside, this price target is only an estimate. If there could be more or less, very much depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin dumps, these altcoin setups not going to be worth too much. Okay, so all types of scenarios to be taken into consideration of. Nothing in this market is 100%. Let's go ahead and go to peanuts. Now I have some loyal peanut viewers, right? And let's see what's happening here. Okay, 3-day time frame. I'm just looking at this from a short-term perspective, right? Of what technical analysis is asking me. Now, does it tell me what the price target is for the end of this bull cycle? No. I can only tell you what the price target is telling me, and as new data comes in, I can chart those the candles, right, and see if I can get a new targets. That's what technical analysis does. Okay, I can't tell you what's gonna happen by the end of this bull cycle, but I could more likely tell you that there's probably going to be a lot more upside for these altcoins in general. Okay, and these price targets, if if Bitcoin doesn't dump and holds above that 110K level, of course, which looking a lot more likely now, then these altcoins are more likely to break through these price targets. Now, 3-day time frame here is, I talked about a falling wedge pattern. Price target for this one has not been met yet. It is still a valid breakout. Price target for this is about 42 cents for peanuts, which is still a pretty good move here. Now, since the breakout, it hasn't really done too much. Let's take a look into the daily time frame, where it has formed another falling wedge pattern here. Broke out of it. Price target here would be about 30 cents. Broke out of it, hasn't met 30 cents yet, and another smaller falling wedge pattern here broke out of it. So this is why you guys got to pay attention to the falling wedges. This is 3 out of 3 breaking to the upside. Let's take a look into. I just want to point out that there is a double bottom as well since the breakout of this falling wedge pattern. Double bottoms are bullish patterns that usually break to the upside as well. And double bottom for this, if it breaks out here, would be the neckline would be about 27 cents. Price target would be about 34 cents. So let's see if Peanut is able to, uh, achieve some of these targets and potentially go to the bigger one, right? Now let's go ahead and go to Cheems, the meme coin, and see what's going on in here. For Cheems here, weekly time frame, it is trying to get on top of the weekly 21 SMA, which is the blue line at about 5 zeros and 142. Okay. Now, falling wedge pattern. I don't have exactly three touching candles on the upper trend line, but I think it's close enough for me. Now, price target, if it breaks out of this one, at this point, let's just say, for example, would be about 5 zeros and 22, about there. So this is basically what I'm seeing for Cheems. Very simple and clean. Not too much data here. Still a relatively new meme coin. I don't see a particular pattern on a smaller time frame here, but I'll update you guys if there is new development and if enough of you guys want to continue seeing more of Cheems. Now, if you guys do, please do drop a like, comment, subscribe on any of these. If you guys want to see any of these altcoins again or any other coins in this market, let me know in the comment section below. I'll pick a request to do for you guys on a daily basis, and I'll see you on the next one.